Welcome to the Driven for More podcast. I'm your host, Stacia Ashbach, and we're in season 2. Season 2 means that we're shaking it up. We're going to have some audio only podcasts like this one here, and then we're going to have our regular videos, and we're going to have some guests, whether they're in person or via Zoom, whatever it is, FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. We're going to have some guests on to help build and create this community of individuals that are just driven for more. So this is our first one that is audio only, and we're rocking with it. Reason for the audio only: moms will specifically know that when you hit school-aged sports children, you live in your car 80% of the time that you are not at work. So the amount of time I'm in my car is absolutely crazy. Last year, from May to May, May 24 to May 25, I ended up putting on 40,000 miles. It was like 40,206 miles in 1 year on my car. So I'm in the car all the time. The kids are in basketball, volleyball, club basketball, skiing, gymnastics now we've joined to it, and my youngest is asking about joining hockey. So gosh, wish me luck if that ends up happening, because I've heard that schedule is even crazier than all the other ones. So we'll see. But I'm in my car all the time, and what better way to spend all of my time in the car than with you guys? So I can continue to fill up your cups and, just make this community grow. So anyways, let's hop into it. Today, I really want to talk about authenticity and your sparkle. It's just so much to me. I end the episodes that saying you're not too much, you're not too loud. Like, you aren't. You truly aren't. Stop feeling that way. Stop dimming your sparkle to fit other people. The second you dim your sparkle to fit in, you're stepping out of alignment with who you truly are. And that's not right. You don't need to lessen yourself to fit in with people. You should be authentically you. And not only authentically you, the main thing is to fill up your own cup and to feel happy and fulfilled with your life, but not just for you, but for your family. And then if you're working as well, having your coworkers, having your employees be able to trust you and feel safe around you, because you know who you are and they know exactly who you are. So I think it's so important. There's truly a difference between fitting in and belonging somewhere. And I feel that when people are trying to fit in, it's just, man, it just isn't. Sometimes it just isn't it. It isn't. I don't, obviously there's situations that everyone wants to try to fit in, and in ways you're starting a new job. You are becoming, you've changed to a manager, and now you're trying to figure out, hey, how does this work? How can I still fit in? How can I enjoy my coworkers, who they now see me as a boss, and that's really hard. It's truly a difficult journey. But it all comes back to yourself. And I'll be honest, I think about it for myself too. I'm obviously different. I thoroughly embrace I am not normal. I'm Stacia. That's it. It's just, I'm Stacia. There's nothing else more to it. Like, you get what you get with me, and this is me. If it doesn't fit with you, that's okay. Like, that is okay. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with me. It's just, this is me, and our auras, our energy, it just doesn't connect to each other. And that's not always a terrible thing. You need people to be different. I mean, I talk about that in just about every episode, that you need so many different aspects and people in life that you do. So being authentically you is how you need to be. So, and then, belonging is truly when you show up as yourself and people welcome you. Fitting in is when you try to twist yourself and turn yourself into someone that you're not, just to be accepted there. It's hard and it's difficult, but if you can truly embrace being yourself, you're going to love the person that you are, the person that you're becoming. And, with going on that, of seeing that right there too, knowing that you change every single year, you change every 5 years, you change every decade. So along your changing, there was a fantastic quote. I listen to it all the time because I absolutely love it. It's I'm going to try to do it verbatim. I believe was it Steve Harvey? I'm gonna have to look back on it to confirm on it. But the boosters on a rocket ship, at a certain altitude, those boosters fall off. So when those boosters fall off, it's like you. Sometimes people in your life are like boosters on a rocket ship. They're not meant to go where you're going. They're going to fall off at the altitude that they're going to fall off, and you're going to keep on going. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. However, you need to be okay that not everyone is meant to be in your life for longer than a season. Some people are meant to be forever, and some people are just meant for a season. And that's deep. That's something to really settle with and to accept. It's so difficult, when you graduate high school, or you're going through middle school, high school, and everything, and you're figuring out who you are and who your friends are and who's real, who's fake, and who you want to surround yourself with. And then all of a sudden you feel like you have it figured out. Like, I've got this figured out. I'm in my junior, senior year. It's figured out. And then you hit college, or you hit, adult world afterwards, and you're like, holy crap, it's totally different. Like, everything is completely shifted on its axis, and I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who these people are anymore, because you're growing into an adult. You're growing into this next version of you, and you will continue to grow and change every single year, every 5 years, every 10 years. I mean, I look back 5 years ago and I'm like, holy cow, the Stacia 5 years ago, like, damn, she would be so impressed and love this Stacia. Like, this, yes, 100%. I had 5 years ago, I was, 7 months pregnant with my youngest child, and being able to see that, once you come out of the toddler fog and the baby fog and all of that, it just really makes your life different. You're able to grow into the next version of you. And now that I've come out of having children is a whole other season. You have your children, or you have your season of, this is when I'm, having babies, and then you leave that season and you're like, all right, now we get to the next season of the baby and the toddler phase, and now we're at school age. So right now, that's my season. My season is young school age children. So my youngest is going to be 5 in January, and my oldest is going to be 14 in November. So in between there, I mean, I've got 9 years. So 9 additional years. They always say that your children are, you have your children for 18 years. No, I will have my children for absolutely forever. They are my children. I am mom. They can ask me anything, any time of the day. I want to be that person for them. So the, mom life is never going to change for me. But so I will always have that identity. I will always have that, but it's in a different way and in a different change as the kids get older. I've got my younger 2 that are currently 5 and 4, and then the older 3. And it's so different parenting the 2 sets of them. And for the younger ones, I truly have so much more patience now than I did for the older ones, because I do know that everything is just a season and you move on, and they do too. It's only for a little bit that their communication skills don't get there and all that. But in also true honesty, there are such similarities in between, like, the 2 ages. So, like, if you compare like a 13-year-old with a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, you're like, holy crap, this is difficult, because they're kind of running into similar issues. The 3-year-old, 4-year-old is struggling with communication and trying to be a big kid and not a toddler anymore. And then, the 13, 14-year-old is struggling to get out of the big kid stage and into the, teenager stage, and wanting to press the limits even more, even though, they're not, an older teenager. And it's just, as I've got the older ones here, I can see already how freaking fast it's going to go. That's something that people say all the time, is that it truly goes so fast. And I will say that as well. You're just like, how did you get so old? How are you taller than me now? It's just wild to me. So I kind of went off on a tangent right there. I'm sorry, but it's talking about, that's something that I'm going to identify with. That is my everything. Is my kids, but it's going to change every season that I'm in, and I'm going to continue to change. And it comes back to that quote that I had just said, that, some people are like boosters on a rocket ship. They're not meant to go where you're meant to go. They may not be driven for more. Their altitude is only at 20,000 feet. Your altitude's much higher. You have to keep going, and you can't get caught up when certain people drop off. You can't get caught up in the sadness that they're not there anymore. You just have to keep going, and know that there are tables just waiting for you to join them, to meet the people that you will truly belong with, instead of feeling like the outsider. It is really, really difficult to hang on to your authenticity and your sparkle when you go somewhere and you are the odd person out. Something that I struggle with, or I did struggle with. I don't as much anymore. I still feel uncomfortable sometimes, but it's not in an uncomfortable way that I have to justify myself. I'm flat out with it. So I barely drink, or I don't drink. I may have, I think I had a margarita a couple months ago. At a 4th of July party, I had one. And it's just one, and I don't need anything more than that. I truly just wanted to try it because they were like, oh my gosh, this flavor is so good, and it's 0 extra sugar and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll try it. But there's no pressure on any of it. And I don't feel pressure to drink. And if I'm in a situation that I don't want to, I don't. And alcohol, I feel, clouds judgment and clouds who you truly are. And it dulls your sparkle and your authenticity. Some people say that it'll bring out your best version of you and all that kind of stuff, because it helps lower your curtain, lower your boundaries and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, my boundaries are who make me me. That's what makes me so freaking awesome, and who I love. I love it. I don't want to wake up feeling like shit the next morning because I chose to drink. Who would want that? That's absolutely trash. No, that's not for me, and I'm okay with that. And it's crazy how alcohol is the only drug that you have to justify not doing. Like, excuse me, alcohol, it is a drug. Like, it's not good for you. And the fact that you have to justify it is just wild to me. But it's just part of the, drinking culture. They have, mommy's juice and stuff like that. Like, it's not fucking juice. It is alcohol. You are drinking alcohol. Do not make it look cool. Do not make it look fun and inviting. Like, there are certain times that it is, you can have a drink and you can have a good time, but making it seem like it's a bit more it's truly extra. And I'm big on that. And I know I don't down anyone else for using it. I don't like the terminology, like the mommy's juice and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that that's appropriate. I don't, it's like glamorizing cigarettes. Like, what are we going to glamorize juuling and cigarettes? Like, no, we're not. So stop glamorizing drinking, because it's not, that's not what it should be. You should be able to have fun just being you. And if you can't, you're probably in the wrong room. You are around the wrong people. Can you always be around the right people? No, you can't. There's situations that you're not going to be around people who are for you, and that you're going to, be a chameleon and change yourself to fit with whatever you have going on. But where you can be you so authentically and honestly is just where you're going to absolutely shine. That your glass will be so overflowing that you can pour into everyone else around you. Your energy is going to attract others. I mean, law of attraction right there. You attract what you put out in the world, and it's just amazing. And I'm obviously really passionate about it. I want you to, I want you to become the best version of you, and I want you to be authentically you and realize that that is who the best version of you is going to be, and knowing that that's going to be ever changing. Best version of you too. I come back to like competition. The only person I am in competition with is myself. Just me. As long as I am better than the person I was yesterday, I am winning. I will find all the different winning pieces of life. There's a book, The Gap in the Game, and it really talks about, being able to be grateful and reality check yourself about truly the amazing things that you may have accomplished and how you have changed, over the last year. For my staff that I have, I actually incorporate that into our goal sheet, and I want them to talk about, what they did good, maybe what that they didn't do so hot on, and actually look about that and see, man, I gained so much this last year. There may be a gap from what my original goal is and what I'm wanting, but I did so much and I became such a great version of myself that it's just awesome. So, I just think it's so important. And that also kind of leads into showing up authentically in every area of your life. In work, authentic leaders attract aligned people and opportunities. I had an exact example of that happen recently, that I was searching for a new position in our front office, and the amount of applicants that I had and interviews that I had with people who were truly amazing and will be great at whatever job that they come to, that wanted to work for me so much, because they're like, it was amazing to hear you talk and how passionate you are and how much you want to help other people, that I want to work for you. I want to be with your organization. And I unfortunately just had one position available. So I ended up finding someone for the position, but it's hard when you have to turn down the other people that are amazing candidates, but you just have, it shows that truly, like, my authenticity and how I portray myself in our business, it connects to so many people, and they love seeing that. And so it brings so many big opportunities to be able to have great staff and great employees that can help fulfill your company's goal. Everyone together that's the goal of the company, is working cohesively together to make sure that you all can achieve the same goal. That's it. And so that's my soapbox on the work one, of being authentically you at work. And next is, really should have probably been said before work, but is your family. Your kids are going to learn and see what you do. They're going to model what you do, and they're going to see that they have permission to be themselves when they see you doing it. When they see you embrace your freaking weirdness. Like, I tell my kids all the time, I'm a freaking weirdo. I will jam the music, roll the windows down, turn the heat on. Like, we're in Wisconsin, and sometimes that happens in November, because we just are going to we're just going to do that. That's what we're doing. We just have fun. We're just different. We're a little weird. It's just who we are. So I don't know. I love it. We're fun, and I show my kids that I am who I am, and I don't care if someone doesn't like me. That's okay. They don't have to. That doesn't mean anything bad about them or anything bad about me. It just means that we don't align appropriately. So, and with your family, with that is, I'm mostly, talking about your children, but, your next is your relationships with your partner, with your spouse, finding a new relationship of boyfriends, girlfriends, all that stuff. When you are who you truly are, and you don't try to just emulate who somebody else is, that's how you're going to find your. Sorry, I had a quick phone call in there. But your relationship, you want to. Authenticity will filter out the wrong people, and it'll deepen your relationship with the right person, the right the right one. They're going to love you for who you truly are. You have that honeymoon phase, that 3-month time period where someone is going to, not necessarily be comfortable enough to be themselves. And after that 3 months, you usually can see who they truly are. But if you're just truly who you are from the get-go, there's no questions. There's no issues. Um, and then all of this together truly comes back to personal growth. Your success is only sustainable if it is built on the foundation of who you actually are, not someone else, not someone else's vision, not someone else's life, on who you truly are. That is what that is how you become successful. That is how you sustain your success, is being you. That's how, people want to watch content and videos. Like, they want to watch people who are authentic. I don't want to see some freaking commercial that some perfect looking person is doing something. Like, I want to see the real life. I want to see, oh crap, the kids ran in the house with a muddy dog and shoes, and there's cereal bowls on the counter, and you have to do the dishes and the laundry, and you have to cook, and sometimes you just have to grab a blanket and hop on the couch. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. I want to see people talk about the crazy in their life, the amazing in their life, and all the honesty about it, so that people don't think that, oh, just they just, it's so good for them. Like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Must be nice. That's the perfect one. Must be nice. Like, you know what? It is really nice. And here's some of the things that I've gone through to get to where I am. And I continue to do every single day. You don't know what anyone is going through, what anyone has gone through, and what everyone has done. You just don't. So honestly, I'll leave it with a quote that really, the version of you that pretends will always burn out. The version of you that's real will always expand. If you are feeling burnt out in your job, what you're doing, in your relationship, it might not be the best in alignment for you and who you are. So there is cost to dimming out your sparkle. There truly is. It's burnout, it's resentment, it's feeling stuck, it's not growing. And then you have your rewards for shining, which are freedom and joy and being magnetic to other people, and peace. When you embrace your whole self, you stop chasing opportunities. If the right ones, they start chasing you. I can't make it any more clear on how amazing it is to be authentically and truly you. So something that I think will really help you is, let's work on practicing your authenticity. Ask yourself daily, am I showing up as me, or am I showing up as the version I think people want? That's a great question to ask yourself, and to center yourself and realize, hey, what am I going to do? Create non-negotiables, things that you're not going to compromise about yourself, boundaries that you are going to set, and you're not going to allow anyone to change about you. This is just you. And the next, I had said before that there are tables in rooms that you've never been in that are just waiting for you to be there. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your sparkle. They don't dim it. They don't make you a version of you that you don't want to be. You want to be in a room where you belong, not just where you're trying to fit in. Journaling and writing things down and brain dumping is another one that is really helpful. And a prompt that I think would be really important that you can ask yourself is, if I didn't care what anyone thought, how would I show up today? What would I do different? Looking at that life, write out that entire day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Write out what that version of you would do. And then compare it to what the version of you did today, what it's going to do tomorrow, and how that prompt makes you think and really want to be the best version of you. So I want to just, recap it. Your authenticity, it means freedom and alignment and your advantage to be freaking you that no one else can be. No one else can be that. Your sparkle isn't extra. It is essential. The world does not need another copy. It needs the real you. I'm so glad that you have joined me today, and I hope that you have joined this audio only podcast. If you didn't enjoy it, please let me know, because right now I'm planning to do a whole bunch of them. So we'll see where it goes. And as always, you are not too much. You are not enough. Oh man, I messed that one up. That's what I get for getting to my destination here and finishing my podcast. But you are not too much. You are not too little. You are not too weird. You're not too far behind. You are just right, and you're just driven for more. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Make sure to follow us on our socials. Check everything out. We've got our Driven for More TikTok, and I do have the Stacia Ashbach TikTok that I post on a lot more, that you'll get a lot more of this content, not just the podcast. So make sure to follow me there too. And we have Ashbach Auto if you enjoy the mechanical fun and entertainment over there. So please join us there. We appreciate you. We hope that you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.